Yeah, good morning, everybody. You're welcome to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. Okay? Good. Let me first of all read out the number because I will allow you call in 0700 993 993 993. And what we're going to do this morning is have a potpourri of issues that we're going to be looking at. So just sit back and relax and enjoy yourself. The first thing of concern to me this morning, as I got the papers, Punch is a paper that usually carries obituaries, 2, 3 a day. Today, Punch carries close to about 9 obituaries. And that set me thinking. And I'm saying, I don't know how come this much people are dying. About 9 or 10 of different persons. Not necessarily the same or as if there was an accident or whatever, but different. And that raised an alarm in my mind. Just have that at the back of your mind that, well, there are more obituaries than the usual. And of course, the one that caught me most was that of the wife of my good friend, Engineer Nibaba. He used to be a commissioner in Lagos State. We were all in university together. And his beloved wife, passed away about 2-3 weeks ago. Now, some mischievous persons had said that, she died of COVID, and it went around the social media. And it was at a reunion. She went to Reagan Memorial. It was at a reunion that she caught COVID. I hope you remember that 2 weeks ago I was, telling our people to stop this very bad habit. Well, now, it turns out that the video that was used to illustrate the so-called event was a video of an event that took place 2 years ago. Can you imagine that? 2 years ago was the video. And when immediately I saw the video, I was upset because, for starters, you wouldn't know how anybody would catch COVID and so on and so forth. And then it was also said that, I think they said she went to a wedding in Abeokuta, whereas it was on good record that she hadn't been anywhere in Abeokuta for about 2 years running. May her gentle soul rest in peace, and God give K and the rest of his family, K and Ibaba, the fortitude to bear her loss. Amen. Last week, over the weekend, specifically on Friday, my good friend Olukoka was also buried. And it was a ceremony to behold, I must tell you. It was a Lagos event. So this Saturday, I'm going to do a tribute to him, and I'll be talking to the secretary of the Adamo Orisha the Adamo Orisha group. And most likely I'll also be talking to the Akishiko of Lagos. Those who know about the tradition of Lagos will know what I'm talking about. So that will be during the discourse. But back again to today, we have the current crisis that we're facing. And I'd like to make my thoughts known, but I'd like to be extremely clear so that I'm not misunderstood. Because it is a very, very emotional subject that leaves very little solution to solve unless all of us resolve to solve it, or else it could be endless. Now, I'm referring specifically to this Fulani herdsmen crisis and where it has gotten to. I think that some people will be happy with themselves that they have gotten this country to a very near crisis point. For whatever reasons, I don't understand. I am glad that as of this morning, there seems to be some resolution in the Ondo situation. And when it all came about, what happened? You just had a meeting with Miyetiala and the Governors Forum, Southwest Governors, and in a gentlemanly manner, they agreed on certain issues. I read that this morning. The other part that bothers me a bit is that of Mr. Sunday Igboho. Is that his name? Sunday Igboho. I think it's Igboho now. Yes. Now, at face value, most people would think and say that what he did was noble. And I, to be honest with you, I think that at face value, you might want to credit him for standing up for his people. But inherent in that are certain issues, okay, that we need to look at critically. and also to ensure that this gentleman with his good intentions doesn't end up paying for something dearly in future. Now you can see the stress I have trying to put my words together, because at face value this is the way it looks. The Hausa people, the Fulani people rather. Sorry, I keep saying Hausa people. The Fulani people are harassing the Yorubas in their own enclave, and the Yorubas need to fight back. That is the way it looks, and probably it might be the way it is. But my concern, I heard something from Mr. Son, and I felt that I owed him that I call it the honor or obligation to let him understand certain things. One, when you move a mob, you think about the Fulani people, the Fulani herdsmen who are terrorizing the neighborhood. Now, the Fulani herdsmen, it's not all Fulani herdsmen that are involved in this. The Yorubas have not much problem, to my understanding, with individual Yorubas have problems with individual Fulanis. That's their own kettle of fish. But as a people, we don't have that much problem with them. Now, when you move a mob of people to eject these people from your area, all kinds of things can happen. And in the eyes of the law, if care is not taken, it could translate to so many things. And I hope he understands that. When you find people saying that he must not be arrested, these people will be the first to run when the chips are down. And I don't want to. When I heard him talk about Tao Babawa, he mentioned 3-4 names. I was first of all shocked. Then I started laughing that this gentleman doesn't understand how things go. I wish he could go wake up Moshood Abiola to ask him how he found himself alone drinking tea and passed on to the great beyond. And a lot of the people who are supposed to be with him, they had bound him to the Philistines. Some of them later on came up as ministers and things like that. I think Mr. Agboho needs to be a bit careful. You might have a good cause. You are fighting for your people. And I know that it is very difficult. And I can understand that. It is very, very difficult for you to say that your people should not fight back. But we do need to be careful. All this is happening mainly because there is a vacuum of leadership in Yoruba land. And there is a rise of activism for various reasons. Some genuine, some not. Some genuine, some not. There's lack of evidence and there's a lack of purpose. The Yorubas themselves have this saying that says that all lizards lie flat on the ground. You don't know that one that has a stomach ache. So you really can't determine people's mind. But I think Mr. Igboho needs to know the implication of what he's doing. I'm not saying he shouldn't do what he's doing, but he needs to be very careful. He needs to be very careful. If you lead a mob, on that and people die and so on and so forth, then you're looking at murder. That's the way it works out. And these same people who are urging you on and who are saying that, that's why some of them, one or two of them, really like Jebota cannot even hold the cutlass, and who are urging you on and saying that, and nothing must happen to him. That's all they will do. That is all they will do. Okay? So I'd like to plead with him to get all the implications well known to him. If I were him, I'd be getting a seasoned lawyer that I'll be consulting from time to time to guide me on my activism. It is very, very important. Then underneath that is also this new cry that is coming out, people saying we want to do a republic, we want to go our separate ways. That is very easy to determine. Let us have a referendum. But I do know that majority, the problem of most Yorubas is how to put food in their stomachs as we speak. And that is not going to be helped by having an Oduduwa Republic if it is the same Yoruba leaders that we have now that would head that republic. Because the problem of the Yorubas doesn't lie with the Hausa Fulani. The West had developed on its own before and can jolly well develop on its own now if we have a good leadership and a sense of purpose. So let's get that extremely clear. This idea, and then we have contributed so much to the development of the country. I don't think this is the time to walk away. We must learn how to play politics. We are so emotional as a people. I can say this because I'm one of them. We are so emotional as a people. We must learn to lay back and be strategic in our thinking and hold our leaders responsible. We must hold our leaders responsible. A situation where you have the only Oba I can think of that I can go to war with blind, and this is just a manner of speaking, is Yawujale. It stands out of the hook. That I said that I know. I didn't say that exists. Most of our leaders they've been found wanting. The selection of leadership at traditional level itself has been compromised. It's been compromised. Videos of an Oba playing with fireworks, and it's been compromised. Let's call a spade a spade. And therefore, we as a people need to be very careful where we allow our leaders lead us. The average Nigerian is compromised more by his own local leadership than national. And the ploy of the politicians is always to push you to this herd mentality and push you, and lay the fault at some other person's doorsteps. So we do need to be careful. But I'm glad the Ondo issue has been resolved. I was so fearful, especially when I heard what happened to the head of the Fulanis, whose house it was said was burnt, and his 7 vehicles, and his people had to run to the bush. I think it was quite unfortunate, because and most of these herders are not even Nigerians. Okay, this is like calling a dog a bad name to hang it. We do need to be careful. Our lines are open. When you do call in, please let us try and be civil. You're free to disagree with my standpoint. Remember that I say always that our job here is to stimulate you to draw your own conclusions, and that indeed, as human beings, we are sometimes wrong. So don't waste your time. If I were you, don't waste your time attacking Jimi Disu, who said this or said that. I'm just doing my job here, okay? Rather, use it as a means of reflecting and getting a true picture in your mind as it appears to you as to what the situation is all about. Do we have a caller? Yes. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jimmy.
Morning.
God bless you, sir.
Yes.
From Ejike from Otafam, a.k.a. Koboko man.
Yes.
Please, I want to beg you for something. Can you help me connect me to that Sunday? That Sunday, I want him to continue pursuing the Fulanis.
Yes.
Because, I want him to continue pursuing the Fulanis because they are our problem.
Okay.
This thing is not happening 6 years ago until Mr. President, which my father told me 1984, we thought that he's the Messiah. That man, he left railway from Lagos to East and is building railway from Katsina to Niger to bring Boko Haram and herdsmen to kill us.
Oh,
I'm telling you now if you don't know.
Knock him off. Please, this is a public forum. And what you have just said is completely responsible. I already told you. What we want to do here is to have a discussion, not for people to come and vent their anger on things they don't fully understand. He built his railway line to bring... This is not in Pierre Palo, I beg. Okay, let's take another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, man.
This is Olawale on the line speaking from Badagry in Lagos.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Mr. Jimmy.
Yes.
There are some facts that we need to talk about.
I know.
When Igboho issued a quit notice.
Yes.
The 24 hours.
What happened? Okay, let's take another call. Please call back. Hello.
Hey.
Kelvin. Okay. Let me first of all apologize, but we'll talk about that later. Okay.
He's there waiting for you.
Okay,
anytime, Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
I'm so happy that reason has prevailed.
Yes.
Even though some people try to take what your friend, the governor from those states, said out of context,
Yes.
just to suit their fancy.
Yes.
I'm happy that at the end of the day, reason has prevailed. The gentleman that gave the quick notice, you cannot fight a just cause in an illegal way. It won't hold water.
Yes.
You have to, if you are fighting any cause, fight it, in a just way, not in an illegal way. It's an aberration to stigmatize a whole nationality. It's not done anywhere. I have friends from Fulani now. Fantastic people.
Yes.
I have in-laws from there now. So how can I just come and stigmatize a whole nationality? So I think I'm happy that reason has prevailed. But having said that, we have said this on several occasions, even on the other side.
Yes.
That Brazil, as we speak today, is the highest exporter of this meat we are talking about. There are 200 million cattle, more than they have more 200 more cattle than any part of the world. Have you ever heard that any cattle is roaming about the street of Sao Paulo or Brasilia, their capital? They are all ranched, and that will make it good for consumption. We have said this several times, yet it falls to deaf ear. So as I round up my thoughts, Alhaji Mohammed, I don't think you're living in this country. You must be from Germany or from England or from Washington. Or you tell me that security is better off in 2015 than now. I greet you.
All right. I mean, without bringing in the person of Alhaji Muhammad, because he was talking about the position, of the government. I think it's quite unfortunate that would be the issue for discussion. The challenges we have are so phenomenal. This is not. I don't think this is a proper time for any form of comparison. But having said that, that's politics for you. We are going to take a short break, okay? When we come back, we'll continue. We'll take more phone calls and look at some other issues, that we need to look at, okay? We'll be right back.
What happened? When you carry me from my papa house, enter this our house, you promise me say you no go lie and cheat on me.
Lie and cheat, ke?
You're lying, no. No be 3K data per month they do for the two of us. Eh? Why if you say when my own finish, you go see the browse. You go call the laugh for WhatsApp and Instagram. Go even they send me message when I no fit open. You not love me, eh? You don't know data when I know day.
Madam, no vex forget too much, eh? You forget to yarn you say, na my MTN app, they dash am the best data deals on MTN. Every time when you load data, pay 500 naira and get 2.5 gigabytes. Pay 6,000 naira and get 20 gigabytes instanta. Download my MTN app, put for phone without cover for Google Play Store and for the iOS App Store. Terms and conditions deal.
Baby, wake up now.
What happened again?
Oh yeah. Come show me how to buy data for my MTN app. Baby, wake up.
I'm awake. What happened?
When you carry me from my papa house, enter this our house, you promise me say you no go lie and cheat on me.
Lie and cheat, ke?
You're lying, no. No be 3K data per month they do for the two of us. Eh? Why if you say when my own finish, you go see the browse. You go call the laugh for WhatsApp and Instagram. Go even they send me message when I no fit open. You not love me, eh? You don't know data when I know day.
Madam, no vex forget too much, eh? You forget to yarn you say, na my MTN app, they dash am the best data deals on MTN. Every time when you load data, pay 500 naira and get 2.5 gigabytes. Pay 6,000 naira and get 20 gigabytes instanta. Download my MTN app, put for phone without cover for Google Play Store and for the iOS App Store. Terms and conditions deal.
Baby, wake up now.
What happened again?
Oh yeah. Come show me how to buy data for my MTN app.
You're listening to Jimi Disu right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, you're welcome back. God forbid, this is to Mr. Eboho again. God forbid that the kind of notice you gave, the Fulanis, supposedly, God forbid that it now happens all over Nigeria where everybody is now given a quick notice, it leads to war and everything. Mr. Eboho, it's good for you to study what happened to them in Rwanda. And those who started the Rwandan war, with some things that they said in public, and how they were later held responsible by the world. And that's why I say to you, Mr. Eboho, that it would be nice if you had a lawyer as an advisor, not those who will be hailing you on, but those who will sit you in the inner recess and tell you certain truths. That popular as it might be, if you give a so-called tribe a notice, it leads to violence and death, you will be one of those held responsible for such things. And the world does not tolerate. We have a world court that could look. Don't forget, if there's any conflagration in Nigeria, the attention of the world will be on it. So whilst I'd like you to continue your struggle, whatever it is, on behalf of the Yoruba people, I think just like Kelvin said, it is good that you do it within the ambits of the law that will not get you into trouble in future. Because what experience has shown in life, if you read history, is that at that particular moment, those who are urging you on the most will be the first to abandon you. And I think a word should be enough for the wise. When I saw the video and saw some of the names that you mentioned, as those who you say, yes, they have also joined you in the cry, I said to myself, this gentleman, he has a lot of zeal in him, most likely has a lot of good intentions in him, but he shouldn't allow people push him in the wrong direction. There's no point in people hailing you today and then you spend the rest of your life regretting your actions. And also for him to note that when these things do happen, God forbid, when the trouble starts coming, the greatest juju ever known in this world will not get you out of it. And I think it's time that our regional leaders took charge of their region, our traditional rulers and so on and so forth. These various groups that we have coming up. Look at the OPC now. The OPC started with Fashion, then you now have Gani Adams. Gani Adams too has been split. They're all coming split down the line. If you go to YouTube, you will see some various things. In my spare time, I do that. And to the point that some are even disclaiming the Yoruba-ship of Gani Adams or otherwise. But if you sit through all the complaints, at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Somebody said he laid a claim on 2 billion of Lagos State funds and all kinds of things like that. So now you have about 3 OPCs rather, and maybe it will continue to be split. Afenifere too has been split down the line. Activism has been shown to be quite profitable in Nigeria, and you can trust Nigerians. We all joined the bandwagon. So many activists, and what I see is that a lot of them are commercial enterprises. I hope our people will stay calm, but most importantly, I hope the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, will do the needful. Be fair in all the things that they do, and make our country more secure, no matter whose ox is God. It is very important because some of the issues that are cropping up are salient. I mean, the other gentleman, but for the fact that he didn't apply, you could see the pain in his voice. And if you had seen some of the videos that have made the rounds, by the way, with those videos too, you need to be careful. Some of them are extracted from films. With some of the things making the rounds, even in WhatsApp, being credited to retired generals and so on and so. I saw one in a group that I belonged to, and I had to quickly call attention to everybody in that group that this gentleman wouldn't write this. We need to be careful of what's making the rounds. You need to understand that if you forward something to other people or you post whatever it is, you will be held responsible, because every dog has its day. There's always a day after. My fear and prayer is that that day never comes. We're inching close to it. We're inching very, very close to it. There's a lot of unfairness. There's a lot of unfairness. There's a lot of tribalism, all kinds of things that are not helping. And most importantly, the silence of the man at the top is making things a bit more complex. I saw a video where Obasanjo even expressed that opinion that, look, when you're being accused of being favorable to the host community from which to which you belong, and you just go quiet on those issues as if and that means that could it be that you're complicit? We hope not. We hope not. For those who keep insisting get out there, it is very simple to do. Go through the legal process. Organize, what do you call it now? I'm having a very senior moment now. Organize a referendum, and once your people go along with you, so be it. For me, the people who are marginalizing me are in this Lagos state with me as we speak. They are in this Lagos state with me as we speak. I'm severely and seriously marginalized in Lagos here. Seriously marginalized. Okay? I'm sure if you are wondering, how can Jimi Disu feel marginalized? I feel marginalized because the values by which we were known as Lagosians have been thrown to the dogs. It's been thrown to the dogs. Look at a living example. The School of Nursing on Awolowo Road has been shut down now for close to 6 years after we raised a hue and cry. When I invited Alhaji Lai Mohammed to the studio way back then, he said it was a commercial decision. The people who are running Lagos don't know the history of Lagos. They don't feel Lagos in their veins. Lagos State to me looks like a state that has opened up its backside to be looted anyhow as it likes. So the marginalization doesn't cross the border. It's there with you. Where you live, your local government chairman, have you ever seen him? What has he ever done? So don't let's allow people with their own prejudices. There is enough, let me be honest with you, there is enough to hang it, to call a dog if you want to hang it in Nigeria. It seems to be part of our DNA. Okay? Because I don't know how every time this Hausa Fulani crisis keeps cropping up, it doesn't appear, now I'm choosing my words carefully, it doesn't appear as if the president himself is concerned. And like Blade said, we don't have, like Kelvin said, we don't have any problem. Captain Blade is one of the best human beings I've ever met. I consider him my friend and my aburo. He's Fulani. So what am I supposed to do? Stab him next time he comes to the studio? So let's all be very clear. The local leaderships, especially our traditional rulers, they need to do. How do you translate Shoto to English now? They need to be true to themselves and true to their people. It doesn't apply quite well. But if I say it in Yoruba, you call Shoto. But even the process by which we all know, by which traditional rulers are picked, has been compromised. Let's be honest with ourselves. And once the foundation is bad, you cannot build anything on it. Right, I'll take a call, yes. Hello? Oh, my God. Why did you pick this call now? I'm joking. It's Solomon.
Good morning, sir.
Solomon, do you know it is an offense to mimic?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, let's hear your contribution, Solomon.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
The issue of fake news and social media.
Yes.
I think is getting out of hand.
And
I hope it will not set this country on fire.
On fire.
Look at what happened in Igogo, in Oyo last week. A lot of fake news. Something that did not happen. People will go on social media and be spreading it. Look, and I've said it time without number. God forbid, if the bubble bursts today, some of you who are going on social media and spread this fake news, you are not going to escape it.
No, they can't.
You are not.
Because those people that you think that you are doing, they have their international passport and their private jet. They will leave you here. It is you that started the problem. You are going to face it. Then, Uncle Jimmy, lastly, please, I want to beg the Commissioner of Police in Lagos. Something is happening at K2 Ilele. Every morning, very early in the morning, some of these area boys will collect people's home. Just yesterday, they stabbed someone. Yesterday morning. The same thing has happened this morning also. For the past 2 weeks now, that place has been so terrible. You can't go out very early in the morning any longer. Please, the task force in Lagos State and the Commissioner of Police should do something to that K2 Ilele side. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, talking about this, one of the biggest problems that Sheriff and I, we discuss about, that we find so difficult, is to comment on issues because you don't even know. As we speak now, nobody can tell you specifically, as at today, what actually took place at Lekki. All kinds of distorted things that sometimes happen in movies are attributed to. That's why we all need to be careful, especially those who are fully exposed, the likes of Mr. Sunday Igboho and what's his name now, Adams, and all these, need to be very careful so that you are not even held responsible for things that you didn't originate. I feel pain for when I looked throughout the weekend and I saw a lot of things going on. I felt a lot of pain for Sunday. Because I said to myself, I am not too sure that this gentleman knows where these things might end. What was happening, all the glory is for the moment. What about the aftermath? Where are you headed? And I think we do need to. What we should also understand is that it is not Nigeria alone that is interested in what's going on in Nigeria. Don't forget we're an oil-producing country, and we're probably the biggest in Africa now. And therefore, everybody knows that once you have a crisis in Nigeria, it could jolly well spread, and nobody wants that to happen. So there is more than the passing interest of the international community on what goes on in Nigeria. So we should all please try and be very, very careful. Okay? Now, once again, I repeat that I want to admit that there is enough reason for agitation. No doubt about it. But when we agitate, what we want is the end result. We don't want to do it, we don't want to do it just for its sake. And therefore, when you do these things, you must have a clear-cut plan. Weave yourself in between legality, to make sure that, you achieve what you want. Go and read. Mr. Sunday should read the books about the struggle of the likes of Gandhi, Martin Luther King, I almost said Obama, Mandela. Okay? Read books and see how strategic people have been. It's not by noise making. Let me tell you something. You might like it, you might not like it. When it comes to politics, you can't beat the Northerners. Whilst in the West, all of us will be shouting, hey, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Just wait quietly. And at the end of the day, they give you a good licking. They understand the name of the game. It's not about noise. It's about strategic thinking. Yoruba people need to, first of all, find out where their problem lies. It's not a muso thing. Those days are gone. Those were the days of the Kiriji war. Muso, hey, muso, hey. No, you're not conquering anybody. That's tribal wars are gone of that nature. Okay? Strategic thinking. Those who lay claim to leadership, you should ask them, where is their claim based? If you gave a quit notice, for example, on what basis? On what authority? But that again is another story for another day. Let me pick. Hello, morning. Okay, all right. Leave the call. Yeah, hello, yes.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah. My name is Olaniwaju from Lekki.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please, I want to contrary your opinion to Sunday Igboho issue.
Yes.
Yeah. my brother, I know Sunday very well, right?
Yes.
And the issue on ground is beyond the issue of Fulani leave our land, Fulani go away or whatever. The struggle of Sunday is far beyond. It's just indirect. I must confess to you. It's just indirect. Like I told you, this is the same Sunday we know very well during Ife Modakeke trouble.
Yes.
I'm from Osun State. Sunday is from Oyo. And I grew up in Modakeke. Hello, sir.
I'm listening to you.
So, Sunday, as we were talking, sir, Sunday never afraid of death. He doesn't care what comes after of all this struggle. That's why I told you the opinion of Sunday is far beyond Fulani just leave. The opinion of Sunday is that Yoruba want to separate. I must confess to you. I may be talking opposite to your program this morning. I'm sorry.
Yes, okay.
Yoruba want to go separate. That is the struggle of this young man. And it has to start. All the Baba he mentioned, your Pastor Joe, the this and that. Sunday expected these people to have taken a step. They did not.
Okay, thank you.
And I must tell you, somebody has to start it.
Okay, fine. Now, listen to me very well, sir. I like your opinion, and in fact, I'm glad you expressed it. What is important is that Sunday cannot take a decision solely for the people. That is not the way it is done. No matter what he feels, no matter how much passion he has in him, no matter what the reasons he can garner, he cannot speak on behalf of other people and say, we are leaving. Leaving to go where? For what reason? We must sit back and we must ask questions now. Are we going to say, you said you know him very well. Some of us don't even know him. And a decision like that, you cannot take a decision on behalf of your people. Your people have to take that decision. And I'm advising him, having been an observer of a lot of events of this nature, and being a historian by training, I am also advising him. People will call in now, they will urge you on, and so on and so forth. On that day when you probably realize the implication of what you are doing, you will be left alone. I can assure you, that's the way life goes. He cannot, no matter, I like his passion. I also have a passion. But all of us must submit to the passion of the majority. That is the way lives and countries are structured. It is not, there's no problem if he believes the Yoruba should leave whatever. There's no problem with that. But the Yorubas must decide it for themselves. Okay? And that's what it truly is. For me, this is the way I look at it. Poverty has brought this about. It is the Yoruba leadership that fails that has led us to this point. Sir, with due respect, that's the gentleman who called in. It is our own local leadership that has led us to this state of hunger and despair. Did Yoruba say they wanted to leave Nigeria? Did you find anybody want to leave Nigeria in the time of Awolowo? The answer is no. Even in the terms of the Civil War, no. So we need to look at these things critically. I'll leave it at that. I'd like to talk a bit about this story. Oh my God, time is gone. Lagos in talks with COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers. Sanwo-Olu, the story is in the Vanguard. And I spoke about it this morning, in which it says they're in talks with, he said they were in talks with Pfizer and so on and so forth. I wonder what being in talks, is it making contact and saying that I want to have a meeting that you would describe as being in talks? Because the story I hear is slightly different, but we leave that. But this so-called herd mentality that the government is targeting has been debunked in other countries. Rather, the governor should strive to make sure that every citizen, at least that should be the plan. It is already defeatist if you're saying that, we'll vaccinate a particular percentage and hope herd mentality will take care of the rest. How are you going to determine who gets what? And by the way, if that is what you're doing, then both the governors, the APC party, the top hierarchy, all of them should not take that vaccine and contribute to those who will bring about the herd immunity. I hope that's what I said the first time. Let's see. Okay. And because but what I find a bit promising is that part of the funding for the purchase of the vaccine would be gotten from the private sector, and I'm glad that he's man enough to admit that they might not have enough funds to do it. So if you have some partnership with the private sector like you have on security and the tarring of some roads, so be it. As long as majority of our people get vaccinated, it is very important, extremely important. The governor now needs to focus on putting pressure. He needs to set up a 2-3 man team who will sit at the doorsteps of NAFDAC and the federal government and make sure that these vaccines are licensed. And that is the key. Once the vaccines are licensed, then it makes the job easier for him. And I think I explained that sometime last week. That I think is the key. He also spoke about security, and he also says that we are doing a 2,000 high definition CCTV camera infrastructure in the state. So we're going to have about 2,000 high definition CCTV in the state. So for those of you who are committing traffic offenses and robberies and so on, you might have yourselves to blame. Let me take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Dan Baba.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
How are you doing now?
I bless, sir.
My very good friend. Are you Fulani, by the way?
Uncle Jimmy, I want to tell you.
You want to what?
I want to tell you something.
Yes.
I think we are all pretending in this country.
Yes.
And I believe we are sitting on the keg of gunpowder.
Yes.
Then secondly, what I want to ask you, Uncle Jimmy, please, is it safe to say if Nigeria are in crisis, or can we say we are in crisis already? Again,
that's a tough one.
What the governors did was to find a political resolution to this issue against 2023. And I pray we all live to witness this 2023 election that they are all preparing for. Then I think people like Sunday are not smart enough. Reason being that the government of the day has told us that the herdsmen we see today are foreigners. If I am to take a position of Sunday, I would say foreigners should leave our forest. Very simple. Because I can't sit in my house and see foreigners from Chad and every other country taking over my vicinity, raping children and women. Where my area where I live is not safe anymore. It happened to me yesterday. Some people pull out dagger. So what are we saying?
Where is your area? Where is your area?
I live in Ojoduwe Gahazi. They did not speak any language.
Calm down.
Yes,
some people pulled out a dagger. Where?
Yes, they drove against traffic on Lagos-Ibadan Express. They almost hit me. And they come down to threaten me. I speak English, they did not understand. I tried to speak Hausa, they did not understand. Only God has saved me. Both of them carrying dagger. I have nothing with me. So can we leave these people riding Okada on our road? They are not Nigerian. The government have admitted. If the government cannot protect us, people are helpless. Look, if I have gun or weapon yesterday, what do you expect me to do? I'll protect myself. I don't want to die. Okay.
Thank you, Dan Baba. Dan Baba, you can see me later. There's something I'll give you. You put it in your left shoe. No, I'm just trying to make light out of this so people shouldn't feel offended. I understand. We have acknowledged that and the right for people to defend themselves. But the subject today really is for this man who, with all his good intentions, it is not, I would rather he not get himself into trouble, just so that he knows. And even though somebody said he doesn't mind, he wants to die, that translated from Yoruba to English is a kokoku, fekoku. We need people like him. People like him are very useful if you want to bring about some kind of balance. Those who are very mature to understand what I'm saying. So we don't want him to kill himself. Because in every society there is a need for you to have somebody who can stand out and stand up for his people. Well, this is where we're going to knock it off for today. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow, as usual, Wednesday, we have Dear Bumi. I just plead with everybody: be at peace with your neighbor. Defend yourself. I mean, if you don't even need to tell anybody to defend himself. That I find is very patronizing. You don't need to tell me to defend myself. If I'm under threat, I definitely will defend myself or run. It depends on. Those are two likely things that would happen. So, God willing, I'll see you all tomorrow. I'd like to thank Ruth. Ruth for being here. She's my Oga here today. Ruth Doma. Where are you from? You're from Edo State. You're from Ishan?
No.
Where?
Esako.
Esako. More? More, yes. That is the greeting in Esako. You don't even know your own language. More, you say, oh boy. Philip, I'd like to thank you all. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 9. Bye. You don't know.
.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.